When you have a fraction in your exponent, the denominator of that exponent tells you that it's going to be an equivalent to a certain type of root expression. For example, a raised to the 1 over n, we can think of as the nth root of a. 4 raised to the 1/2, we can think of as the square root of 4. Normally with a square root, we don't write a 2 as the index of the radical. A radical by itself is assumed to represent the square root. And the square root of 4 we could simplify to be 2. 27 raised to the 1/3 would be the cube root of 27. Notice it's not 27 times 1/3, it's 27 raised to the 1/3, which would be the cube root of 27. And the cube root of 27 is 3. X raised to the 1/5, the 5 in the denominator tells us we would have a 5th root. It would be the 5th root of x. In this case, we can't simplify this expression any further since we don't know the value of x, so we would leave this alone as it is. Our next expression, it's important to understand what it's saying. This is the negative of 25 to the 1/2. It is not negative 25 raised to the 1/2. The 25 is raised to the 1/2, the negative out front is not. Since there is a negative out in front of our expression, the negative stays out in front of the expression. 25 raised to the 1/2 would be the square root of 25. So the answer to this expression is negative 5. In our next expression, for comparison, we have a parenthesis around our expression that is raised to the 1/3. That means the entire expression, parentheses and all, can go under our cube root. Taking the cube root of these, the cube root of negative 27 is negative 3. For the cube root of y to the 6th, we can divide our exponent by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2, so we have negative 3y squared for our answer. Thinking of these properties that we've talked about, if you'd like to see if you can write the next two expressions in root form on your own, pause the video now and resume when you're ready to see the solution. These expressions look very similar at first, but there's a very important difference. In our first expression, only the x is raised to the 1/5, the 7 is not. So only the x would go under the 5th root, and it would be 7 times the 5th root of x. In the next expression, the entire parentheses is raised to the 1/5. So the whole thing would go under the 5th root, and you would have the 5th root of 7x.